When people are talking, if they're talking about my career, it's that I understood when there was consumer shifts. I think I understood what life was about at 12, and I wasn't willing to listen to any grown-up that wasn't my mom telling me that I wasn't shit.
Your family in New Jersey had a liquor brand. You took it from like a $3 million business to $65 million.
I was early in understanding the power of personal brand as a business leverage. I knew the internet was a big one, and I bet the farm on it.
Did you ever have a moment of doubt?
Doubt doesn't scare me. I'm not scared to lose my reputation. I'm not scared to be judged by other people. When you're not scared, you're dangerous.
Gary V, welcome to Post Run High.
Thank you for having me.
Post Walk High today.
Yes, post walk.
So Gary and I just went for a stroll on the High Line. I haven't walked on the High Line in probably years.
I'm glad we did it.
So it was special.
Good.
Although I was kind of bummed we didn't see the big pigeon statue.
Yeah, that was to the side. I knew when you said it, but I wanted to make, you told me to go tight on those answers, so I didn't want to sidetrack and tell you where the pigeon
No,
was.
you were very tight on the answers. And I know you're typically like a long-winded
Yes,
type of guy.
I like a good, deep, contextual answer, so I was trying to keep a little tight there.
Well, you can go as deep as you want today.
Okay, thank God.
So we got to start out by talking a little bit about fitness just because of the purpose of what we just did. We just went for a walk. Normally we go for a run, but Gary would not run with me today, guys.
No, guys, I really suck at running. Actually, it's actually one of the biggest important things I'm thinking about. I think I have a fundamental foot issue, which is, by the way, the feet is like, it's a big deal to like your overall health. Like it's actually a big thing in my life right now. So I turned 50 in 11 days. At 38 and a half, which is fun to say because you usually say half when you're like 12, not even six and a half.
38 and a half.
But at 38 and a half, I started getting serious about my health and wellness and got a full-time trainer, changed my eating habits, and have done so much incredible work. And like one of the final frontiers for me, and there's never a final, but I'm really excited about like really attacking my feet.
What's wrong with your feet?
I don't know, but there is something really fundamental that like running, I do a lot of things, especially because I had no muscles in my body, had never worked out when I was 38 and started going through my journey and persevered through a lot of things that were incredibly painful, QL issues, lots of stuff. But running is like really hard for me.
Well, I had to learn this because I've torn my ACL twice, and every time I've torn it, you kind of have to relearn how to, after a surgery, you relearn how to walk and then how to run. And like running is the thing that you can get to last, and that's because every stride that you take, like when you're kind of pushing forward, your entire body weight is on those muscles on that side of your body and those ligaments and bones. So it's just like the most kind of intense full body workout because it's like a full body pounding on each side of the body every time you stride.
It's definitely like something I've definitely
The physicians
avoided.
listening were like, she butchered that answer, but true.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure. But like, I can tell you one thing. I'm very like self-aware. Like I'm very in tune with my body. Like running is a real challenge that I genuinely actually weirdly want to figure out. I'm very coordinated from my waist up, but you know, I have good hand-eye coordination. Waist down, like I'm not a soccer guy, skateboard, surfing, running, all are incredibly challenging for me. And I'm excited to kind of tackle that in the next half century.
Okay, well, then when you start tackling that, call me because we're gonna go for a run.
Fair.
Okay, I promise I'll make you look good.
Honestly, I want to earn looking good.
Okay.
I don't need the post edit. Like I'm going to put in the work to look good.
Okay. Well, why 38 and a half? Did you have this this change of heart and wanted to get into working out?
I think that it was probably in my mind, like, you know, probably from 25 to 35, maybe 27 to 38, you know, my genetics no longer carried me, right? Started putting on weight, kind of just, you know, had, you know, started like even little things like my daughter was probably 4 at the time and just like carrying her for 5 blocks or 10 blocks in the city was like way harder than it needed to be. And more importantly, it just became logical to me that if I didn't take care of my health, that was gonna not work out. Like it wasn't super complicated. Like if you don't do the right things in anything, in your relationships, in business, in health and wellness, like you will lose. And I guess 38 and a half was, I remember it actually very vividly. I was literally like this. I was in a seat on an airplane like this. And by the way, didn't feel bad or weird or anything. Like it was not like something had happened. I was just on a flight from Houston to New York and I put my head on the window and I said, you know what? Because it must have been a convo I've been having with myself for a while at that point. I said, you know what? I'm gonna address this. On my 40th birthday, I'm gonna hire a full-time trainer to shadow me. I'd figured out that year that I was very accountable to others, not myself. I don't compete with myself. That's another thing with running that didn't go my way. I don't want to beat my best time.
No, yeah. But I also feel like it's like taking your own advice, right? That's a hard thing for everybody, right? So it's like, it's so easy to be a motivational I feel the same way sometimes where I'm like, I will be the first friend to be like, to give my friend advice on working out or what they should be eating. And then I'm also the first person to not be following those kind of guidelines, right? So it's a constant reset.
And for me, in the things I talk about, like work and mentality, I was living that life, but I was aware that I wasn't living that life in health and wellness. I was definitely not telling people like, get your health up. That never came out, still doesn't come out of my mouth. That's not what I talk about.
Right.
But I knew it was a huge vulnerability. It was just basic common sense. I'm like, wow, I am not gonna be a healthy 60-year-old. I prefer to live to 95, 100. This needs to change. Head on the window. Oh, wait a minute. I think if someone babysits me and I'm accountable to them, that will work for me. By the time I land in New York, I went from 40 to 39. I was like, why am I gonna wait to 40? Let me do it on my 39th birthday. By the time I landed, I'm like, why am I waiting 6 months? Let me do it now. I called Mike Vacanti, my last trainer that I had for 6 months, was supposed to have 100 sessions in 6 months or whatever the math was, and I had 5. Literally 5. I literally canceled 39 times and I did 4 or 5. I called him and said, Mike, I'm looking for someone full-time, because he had a lot of clients. Do you know anyone young like you who can like just have me as a client and fly to Peru and Toronto and LA and take red eyes and like just every day with me? And he goes, well, what about me? And I go, you can do that? And he's like, yeah, most of my coaching is online. I don't have that many clients in the city. And literally a week later we started. I worked out with Mike this morning.
Wow.
Virtually. He moved to Minnesota to start his family during COVID. But
what do your virtual workouts look like?
today was a stretch day because this weekend was crazy. I went ham on, I did lower body and upper body. So I did some nice muscle work.
But you guys are like on Zoom calls working
Yeah.
out? Mm-hmm. To be honest, you know what's so weird? Until this year, I have not been able to do virtual workouts. And now I like swear by them. And I don't know if it's just that I've gotten more comfortable or more into social media and being like digitally online that I feel, I don't know. But
I will say when Mike comes in, which is every several weeks or every month at least, I do think it's a better workout in person. I do. Yeah. I feel like I can like cut corners when he's on Zoom. I feel like he can see, like when I'm working out with him physically, he's like, move your shoulder back a little bit. That happens less on Zoom. So for anyone who's listening, I do believe it is a better workout in person. I just also think doing virtual with Mike is better than not. And obviously I could get another person, but I love working out with Mike and we're in a good place. And so that's where I'm at.
Okay. So when we were in your office, guys, in our walking interview, we did a little tour of Gary's office. You were pointing out some of the wrestling figurines, WWE, right? So were you a wrestler growing up? Like, did you wrestle? Did you play sports as a kid? Yeah,
I wrestled. I like beat the shit out of a lot of, like I'm very good at fighting. I got into a lot of fights as a kid, like
recreational fights?
No, I mean like Oded Weinstock, if you're watching, you know what happened at Marcos Hill. Like real talk, like I'm an 80s lower income Jersey boy. Like we fought, like I wrestled a ton. Eric Godfrey, Robbie Turnick, Andy Greco. We reenacted camel clutch, full Nelson, figure four, like really stuff that like kids, like we should have gotten much more hurt. Like I said this the other day on a Zoom or like a live stream. We like did something called war in 2nd and 3rd grade where we literally threw full-fledged rocks at each other's heads.
Stop.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm really enjoying this because I know there's people that grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s that are laughing right now because like straight up, like stick to stick, like hitting each other's heart, bro. Like I don't know, we were crazy. So yes, I did a lot of that. I played a ton of recreational, like after school sports, and I played a lot of tennis organized as a kid.
Wait, Gary,
baseball.
Hold on. You have kids. Can you imagine one of your kids coming home from school and being like, yeah, this kid was throwing rocks at my head at recess? They'd be like, kick that kid out of school immediately.
I could in a real way.
Gary would say we're recruiting him to VaynerMedia. That guy's got balls.
In a real way. In a real way. Like I'm not bullshitting you. Like I wish people like watch me in my real life. Like I think kids have gotten over coddled. I think we've gone away from resilience and adaptability. I see a lot of you behind the camera shaking your head right now. I think you know a lot of your friends that are dealing with depression and anxiety are the byproduct of parents over coddling and taking care of too much. I also don't think we need to swing back to the fucking 50s and 60s. And like, I don't think like kids should be I'm not advocating for like parents to go outside, grab a fucking vein from a tree and hit their kids with a switch, or the way I grew up where there was a belt in the house.
Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes kids do need a little bit of tough love. We're not out here trying to be BFFs with our kids, right?
I would argue that almost every parent is trying to be a BFF with their kids. I would argue that almost every contemporary parent right now is over-indexing wanting to be their kid's friend instead of being friendly. And I think a lot of today's world's issues, people want to blame on social media and other things, and I think it's that we lost our way in contemporary parenting. I really believe that. And I think it's a conversation that needs to be had, which is why I'm bringing it up right now. If my son came home and said, holy crap, like, you know, let me think of his friends, Antonello threw a rock and hit me in the head, I'd be like, what'd you do? I wouldn't think about calling the school and be like,
calling Antonello's mom.
like fucking parent on parent crime.
I can't.
Like the thought. Like, in fact, Robbie Turnick's mom, Eleanor, may she rest in peace, not only would not call my mom, she would smack me. Back in the day, it was like neighborhood parenting. Like all my friends' parents were my parents. I think we need to get some of it back. I think everything is purple. I don't want red. I don't want blue. We need to be purple, but I think we're fully blue in modern parenting and need a tweak.
It's interesting that you're saying this too, because you grew up with immigrant parents,
Yes.
and that is like a unique experience, right?
Yes.
I've interviewed a lot of people on this show
Yes.
that come from immigrant backgrounds, immigrant households. So like, what would you say your household was like when you were a kid, and how was maybe success defined?
It's just crazy what your question just, I wish I could swallow an AI pill right now and everybody could just hear what's happening inside my body right now. The answer to your question is unequivocally fucking awesomeness. What was happening in my home? The best thing you could ever ask. A mother who had uncanny levels of love, self-esteem building to the max, not grounded in delusion. She didn't say I could be anything and could do anything. She just championed when I did things well, and she held me accountable when I didn't. So this unconditional love, my mom telling me that like so many wonderful things, yet it didn't even cross my mind to I was scared to even think about disrespecting my mom with the fear that she would know that I was thinking it and she would smack the fuck out of me. I am the byproduct of a woman who created unlimited love and joy and rainbows and sunshine while commanded respect that didn't even need to be said, which then created a framework for me to respect everyone and everything. I was very fortunate. You know, success was defined by humanity. So I got bad grades. I just showed you. Right. My mom grounded me every marking period. From 4th grade to the senior year of high school, I was punished like clockwork. You know how we just turned back the clock the other day? Literally, progress report card, grounded 2 weeks, no phone, no video games, no friends, no TV. Like, as if I was on some weird program. Like, literally like clockwork. Like, start the school year, yay, football's back, get to see my friends. A couple weeks later, start to get depressed because progress reports are coming soon. And literally, I don't know if anybody grew up in Jersey and had this on progress reports. There was a checkbox there that was in danger of failing.
Okay, but
that was Gary, my nickname, Gary in danger of failing Vaynerchuk.
Okay, but my question is,
yes.
If you are constantly getting bad grades and
yes.
you have a mom that's grounding you as a result of your bad grades,
yes.
why couldn't you just get it together?
Because I needed every minute that I wasn't grounded and was in school to focus on what I wanted to focus on, which was selling baseball cards to my friends.
Okay, so you were a little schemer in school.
I was a salesman. I was a businessman. I don't think of it as schemer. I think of it as I was enlightened. I think I understood what life was about at 12, at 11, at 13. And I didn't give a fuck that Mrs. Stats said to me that I was going to be a loser in life. I knew that I wasn't. I mean, it was really hard for me to believe them when anything that was based on merit, how people interacted with me and how I did at baseball card shows or at commerce environments told me I was great. I believed that over getting a D because I didn't read Catcher in the Rye. And I didn't have time to read Catcher in the Rye because when I got home, I had to price my cards because I had a show. Or I had to read the Wine Spectator because I wanted to help my dad's liquor store. Like, I just knew what I wanted to do, and I wasn't willing to listen to any grown-up that wasn't my mom telling me that I wasn't shit. I just did not believe them.
in the US, I feel like there should be more trade schools, you know, like it would have been cool for you to go to a trade school that was like specific about like marketing and branding and selling.
If I walked into fucking class and they said, today we're going to learn why New Coke failed, I would have gotten a straight A. By the way, I got B's in fucking history. Something I was interested in, even though I didn't do, by the way, do you know that I literally didn't do a single piece of homework in 4 years of high school? Like, I didn't do homework. Every Scantron I ever got put in front of me, I put A, B, C, B, A, B, C, B, A, B, C, A. Like, I did not care. I knew. But to your point, if I was interested, well, then I could get good grades on tests. I got good grades on tests in one class, history. Why? Because for an hour, I paid attention. And I remember Shanghai Shek, or how the Germans did this, or why Vietnam this, or why Kennedy beat Nixon on TV but lost on radio because of the advent of like visualization. Like, so yeah, of course, you're absolutely right. Like, of course, if school was like about trading and selling and business and marketing and how to do your taxes, and if it was about emotional intelligence, like if there was true psychology classes in grammar school, like why we fear or how to love or what self-esteem is based on, yes, I would have gotten good grades. But fucking remembering how many rings are on Saturn was not it for Gary Vaynerchuk. But by the way, kudos to people that it was. Like, you're not going to fucking NASA if that shit didn't get you going, and that's awesome.
I think it's actually a commonality in a lot of successful people, even though you also have successful people that get straight A's and whatever.
And that to that point, like there's people who were okay at school, remarkable athletes, good enough at school or testing, but then at Yale found their passion in the classroom, or the reverse. There's people that go to Stanford who like love the classroom, who like lose love of the classroom because they found a startup their freshman year in Stanford. So I just do not understand how people don't understand that there's a million ways to live life. Hopefully your success is deemed in happiness and joy and humanity like my world was. Straight A students are making money. The two extremes in family of how success is defined both have vulnerabilities. And that's where we're at.
But when you were living in a time where during the 70s and 80s when you were in high school, and you were saying this earlier, but it was kind of the thing to do was to get good grades, go to a good school, the only route.
The only route to success.
So I know you had a confidence in yourself where you were like, well, I'm good at sales, like I'm gonna be fine.
Yes.
But did you ever have a moment of doubt where you were like, I'm lost?
No.
Okay.
I really didn't. And like, I don't think that's cool. In fact, I wish I could say in this podcast I did, but I'm not gonna bullshit you. No. There was never a fucking time where I thought I was in trouble, mainly because I'm not scared of zero. If you wanna go into something interesting, I'm never in a place of doubt because the downside of doubt doesn't scare me. I'm not scared to lose all my money. I'm not scared to lose my reputation. I'm not scared to be judged by other people. When you're not scared, you're dangerous. And so I was very dangerous. Like I'm just not scared of what most people are scared of.
Have you always been that way?
Yes. You know, my fears I was scared of like girls. I know what life is based on, like, I had fear in like getting rejected by girls. So I know what in sales, what people are scared of. I'm like, oh, I know. Because as a kid, I missed out on a lot of good opportunities because I was just scared to, like, the amount of girls through my life that were like, why didn't you? I was like, fuck, like I know what missed opportunity looks like through that. I know what envy and jealousy looks like from being a sports fan. My anger towards Patriot fans would stun you. I hate them so much.
Fair.
Like when I see someone wear a Buffalo Bills hat, that would be like, you know when people are like prejudiced and racist and like hate other religions? Mm-hmm. That's how I am with sports. Mm-hmm. Like literally, I love that. If you were wearing a Bills hat right now, I would be upset with you.
Yeah, you would.
Like,
yeah.
So I understand what I cannot comprehend not liking someone because of gender, race, religion. I can comprehend because I feel it, because I do it. Like I hate Steeler fans. Like I hate them. I like see them wear a Steelers thing and their little fucking bullshit towels, and I'm like, I fucking hate you. And I mean it, by the way. I know some people think I'm doing a shtick right now or laughing or thinking I'm stupid, but meanwhile, in real life, I love everybody that has a different religious pendant on their chest, skin color, gender. I think I'm smarter. I think it's way cooler to love everyone and think sports is a silly place to feel that feeling, but I understand why people hate. Because I do have envy and jealousy because my Jets and Knicks make me mad. And I'm envious of the Boston fans. They have so much winning. So I don't feel envy and jealousy in other areas, but I feel it in sports, something I'm passionate about. And so I can invoke those emotions. So I've been able to understand people through different parts of my life, but I've never had self-doubt. I fucking knew.
Mm-hmm. No. I love that. You know what? You're allowed to get a little competitive in the sports space. I think that's a safe space.
I think so. Like, if the world lived the way that and by the way, for everyone who's listening who doesn't know me, everything good is because of my parents. So I take no credit in this. They made me. New Jersey made me. Immigration made me. America made me.
Isn't Jersey such a great place to grow up, Barry?
Such a great place to grow up.
It's gritty.
I really do. Mm-hmm. It is gritty, especially like if you're fortunate to be like, listen, there's some bougie places in Jersey. Yeah. If you grew up in the hard streets of Colts Neck and Alpine, you're not the same Jersey. But by the way, there's gritty people from those bougie places. My favorite people are sometimes gritty people from bougie environments because they fight. That's a tough one, right? If you're born into a third generation wealthy family with a big last name and everybody just shits on you because they're like, you got it easy, you don't have it easy. You have that pressure. You have that knowledge that no one on earth is ever gonna think that you were good because it was handed to you, like Nepo baby shit. Like, that's tough. Like, this is why I keep telling everybody has it tough.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, everybody has their shit, so you really can't judge a book by the cover. And I don't know. I think if you're mad at somebody because they're rich and you feel like they have it easy, then check yourself because you're being insecure over something that you
also have no idea how life actually works. Yeah. I think like most of the people that are most unhappy that I know are wealthy. Like money is the accelerator of your inner truth, not the changer of your emotional realities.
Right. We just have to shout this out really quickly because you were talking about being nervous with girls, but you just married Mona recently. Yes. You're newlywed. Yes. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I was telling Gary before we started filming, but I actually met Mona the other day at a Siegelman Stable event. Shout out Siegelman Stable. Yes. We're a big fan of them. And she was lovely. So congratulations. And I also met your dog.
Thank you. Yes,
so
Remy.
cute. Let's dive a little bit into life post-high school and post-college.
Okay.
So your family in New Jersey had a liquor brand, right?
A liquor store.
A liquor store. Mm-hmm. And you went in, and is it true that when you got there and you made it kind of an e-commerce site, you took it from like a $3 million business to $65 million in 1 year?
No, in 5 years.
In 5 years. Mm-hmm. So talk to us a little bit about the brand that you grew up with, the store that you grew up with, and what you turned it into and why.
Wine Library. My whole career in hindsight, when I'm wrapping up, when people are talking, if they're talking about my career, it's that I understood when there was consumer shifts. I knew the internet was a big one. I just knew it was going to be huge. And I bet the farm on it. And I spent money on building a website and building out this brand called winelibrary.com. And through email marketing, which was a new idea, you're a youngster. Like, I went through all of high school without ever being on the internet.
Right. You're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of content. By the way, can we address that right now? I see the unlimited content of like, if you're lucky you were born in the 80s and like we had bikes and we had this and we had all that. I would say that...
I think it's tough for young kids that are growing up right now where they're living a lot of their lives online. Like, I feel
they're in control.
What do you mean?
I mean, they don't have to.
Mm-hmm, but they do, though. There's so many kids that you can't even get them off their screens.
But if they're complaining, they can fix it.
Right. And you know what, though? There's a lot of opportunity online, too. So there's like multiple ways to see it. I'm very positive about online.
Me too. There's a
fan
15-year-old that made $1 million this year gaming.
Right.
Guess what? That was impossible. Yeah. Like, if I grew up with the internet, I would have had the greatest career of all time. So anyway, nonetheless, I don't need to sidetrack. Yes, I was fortunate to not have internet. I would tell you that Gary Vaynerchuk, was incredibly unfortunate. That if you fucking gave me internet.
This guy.
If you gave this guy internet, this exact guy, everything the same, and some could say, well, your life would have been different. That's valid. But I would tell you right now, like, I wish I had the internet.
You know what? I wish you had the internet too, because I would love to see
those videos.
High school Gary V.
There'd be some really funny videos. Anyway, nonetheless, email, Google AdWords. Are we over already? Really? How much do you have?
I have as much time as you have.
Okay.
So what do I?
Good. We can go 5 more minutes. Please don't edit that part out. I just want everybody to know my honest life. This is what they do to me. They keep me so tight. I wish I had the internet. I'm glad I didn't have the internet. I wish and I'm grateful for everything. Like, nothing is that important. Everything would have been. And what I would have and could have done is irrelevant. What I did do was I modernized my dad's liquor store into the most significant new e-commerce wine retailer in the country. I'm very proud of that. I built that business for my father. It's still his business. And 1998 and really 1994 to 2011 is some of my proudest work, because most kids don't live a life where they build a business for their parents. I did. And I think it's incredibly noble. I'm proud of it. It's something I can't wait to tell my grandkids about. And I built a huge business for my dad.
Yeah, and you've now built a huge business for yourself as well. And in 2009, you started VaynerMedia. You didn't just build a business, you built a personal brand for yourself as well. And you document everything from business insights to motivation and strategy and brand prediction. So for the people listening, why do you think it's valuable to have a personal brand?
Well, I think it's a leverage point. First of all, I want everyone to hear this. I don't think everyone needs to have a personal brand. I don't think there's anything that everyone should do.
But you talk a lot about having your phone and how just
Oh,
putting
no,
the camera
I think it's remarkably powerful for most people. But I think there's a lot of people that don't want to be public, and I think that's awesome. In fact, you may know this about me, given what you do and like the research you've done. I don't talk about my personal life online. There's not unlimited pictures of me and Mona. Or there's never been a picture of my kids. Like, I don't do that. Like, everyone's in control. And so I think a personal brand is an icky word to a lot of people, and it makes me laugh. It's just a modern word for reputation. I think reputation is very important. I think you trade on your reputation. I think reputation creates opportunities. I think reputation speeds up stuff. I can do stuff with all of you, like in business and life, quicker because you have context. I like that. I like when people approach me with opportunities for them and they understand a lot about me. I think it leads to opportunities. It leads to business. In business, I think it's quite powerful. But I will remind people, some of the biggest companies in the world are not run by people that have public personas. Yes, I know who Elon is. Yes, I know other businesses that are run by public figures, Oprah, but there's also enormous amounts of businesses that are humongous. Like, I don't think people know who the LVMH family is in modern pop culture. Some people in fashion, they know. You could build huge businesses without, like the NVIDIA guy. I know he's a little funny and he wears this thing, but he's not out there, but he can be out there. So I just want to make sure people know that not every shoe fits every person. Yes, I was early in understanding the power of personal brand as a business leverage. And I think brand is about to explode in value as we go into the AI era. And I think whether that's a personal brand or a brand for a product or service, yes, I believe in brand.
You talk a lot about predictions for what's happening in the branding space and in media. So where do you see the media and creator space going?
AI infected. I think the rise of AI influencers is about to be here. So I think for me and you, we need to be very aware of that. Like, me standing up a version of you in AI form is now very real. And I think that scares a lot of people, but it doesn't scare me. Like, things change all the time. And in fact, you could create 30 of you.
Right. I honestly don't mind it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I think you're open-minded to it. So, I think that's going to be the AI thing for everyone at home right now listening, the AI thing is big and it's real. And you can say anything you want. People don't like the authenticity. It's fucking coming. It's coming fast. It's coming hard. It doesn't care about your feelings or how you made money or all the work you put into what you put in. And I implore you, if you leave anything with here, please learn how to use these tools, because, that saying that's going around is pretty true. You're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to people that use AI.
All right, let's do one final question, because I know you got to run to a meeting. So what is one piece of advice that you would tell your younger self?
My younger self, and I hope this helps someone, his biggest kryptonite was candor.
What is candor?
Candor is like being able to be real, which is wild, because Gary Vee, in these podcasts, on stages, when we walk the High Line, candor's my strength.
Right, you're so real.
When I'm talking to the world, I'm unstoppable. But in my real life, the more I love you, the more I care about you, the harder candor was for me. I used to associate candor with invoking fear. I couldn't see that lack of candor created fear. And so my kryptonite was what I would tell, if I was talking to 19-year-old me right now, I would say, hey, brother, you were really fucking gifted. The right mix of mommy and daddy having sex at the right second. The fact that you were born in a really fucked up place. You came to this incredible place. You were handed nothing, so you became very hungry. You had a lot of golden heart DNA, but then you had a fucking mom that cultivated it. You've got it all, but you have a fucking flaw. And that flaw is the more you care about someone, the more you can't tell them what you really think because you're scared to hurt their feelings or hurt them. This is not about hey kid, this is not about you wanting to, don't be confused. I know what you're thinking right now. This is not about you wanting to be overliked because you don't care about that. This is you being overly compassionate and empathetic to a fault where you are overly worried about what someone thinks and you're gonna hold back and it's gonna build resentment. And everything bad that's about to happen for you over the next 31 years, because it's me being 50 to talking to 19-year-old me, everything bad that's about to happen to you personally and professionally over the next 31 years is gonna be based on one thing: your inability to tell people you love, kind of like, what you actually think, and you need to find a way to tell them that nicely, with compassion, but you have to be able to do that. And that would have saved me a lot of headaches. I really wish I had 50-year-old me tell me that, because that is the one scarlet letter, scars that I carry with me into my next century. Now I'm happy that I'm able to talk about this now because I've learned it. It's still, by the way, Candor's still hard for me. With Mona, kids, best friends, Train, who's only been with me for 5 minutes, right? Hard.
I love Train. Yeah. He's been great.
It's hard. It's hard for me.
Yeah.
It's still hard for me to deliver candor, but I'm a 5 out of 10, which is a lot better than a 1 out of 10. And if for anyone who's listening that really hit, start practicing, because practice gets you from 1 to 5, and more practice will get me from 5 to 10.
So if we're talking candor, be brutally honest with me. How can I get better?
You'll appreciate this. I don't know. I think you're very good on camera. I think you're comfortable when you're talking to camera. So that was good. I also like how you and your team interacted.
Well, I do have to say the one thing about you that I really respect and have always appreciated, and I've been a fan of you for a while, is you are so understated and humble, and you see that through all of your content and everything that you put out. And even with the team that you guys have, everybody that works for you is, just a chill and nice person.
That was actually the thank you. And that was the compliment I was about to give you.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like you guys are as a crew. I love staying in line. I love when I go to the door and they're go back to the line and everyone around me is like, what the fuck?
Well,
and I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Hear me out. That's the worst thing you can hear. You think you said reputation's everything?
Bro, I saw
the worst thing is bro.
I saw someone roll up to a place the other day that I was at, and the door wasn't great to me, and I was like, could not give less shits. And this other guy's like, I have 17,000 followers on TikTok. I literally laughed. I was like, I felt so bad for that kid. I was like, bro, that's not it.
Last thing, happy freaking 50th birthday,
Thank you.
Gary V. I'm excited for the next 50.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Good luck to you guys.